Hi there, my name is Jay from This Week in Hearthstone, and today I'm going to be ranking the Hearthstone mini sets of 2024 to see which one is best. Getting right into it, I used a super scientific method of rating these. Just kidding, I didn't rate these anything scientifically. I looked at the release playability, which means when it came out, how many cards of this mini set was played. I looked at sustained playability, so how many of these cards lasted longer than a couple of weeks, what have you. And then, how many cards were strong, how many cards were weak for each mini set, as well as did any of these mini sets impact the meta and change it drastically. We're going to get into it. We're going to go through each one of them, but let's just talk about the sets as they came out. So Showdown in the Badlands came out, Delve into Deepholm, January 18th, 2024. I think that Showdown in the Badlands from the end of 2023 was awesome, and this one was just as cool. 38 total cards like most of the mini sets, and this one actually boosted the excavate keyword. There were several excavate pieces in this set, and 3 of these cards were just absolutely broken. We're gonna get into them. They needed nerfs. Several of them have been nerfed multiple times, and then several of these cards are still in the meta today and are still seeing play. So very memorable. If you played during the time that the mini set came out, you remember Shroomscavate. It had Divine Shield and Wind Fury and Excavated a Treasure. You had the ability to playing it in Paladin or Shaman. This one was broken, and a lot of people didn't like it, as well as Deep Miner Brand. Deep Miner Brand went several iterations. I think at least 2 of them where it changed the mana cost, because this one was just doing some broken things. And then Shattered Reflections. This one was another one that was crazy. This one used to just say, choose a minion and add a copy to your deck and battlefield, and then it was choose a non-Titan minion, add a copy of your deck, hand, and battlefield. This one was absolutely broken. I don't see it too much right now because it's non-Titan, but listen, these cards were broken, and these cards were changed, and pretty impactful, if you will. And then of the other cards that were out there, listen, when we get 38 cards, not all of them are winners. Some of them are just not ever going to see play. But this set came out in January, and we're almost at a full year, and we're still seeing these cards right now. So, quick pick. You've seen this card. This card's been around in multiple iterations of Demon Hunter and Rogue. It's being played right now. This is being used in at least 3 weapon Rogue decks right now. Mining Casualties is in both Paladin as well as Death Knight. We're seeing this one all the time. The Needle Rock Totem is in multiple iterations of decks. I played 3 of these cards recently, within the past 10 days, and it's middle of November or end of November. Showdown in the Badlands mini set was pretty strong. Let's get into Whizbang's Workshop. So this one was Dr. Boom's Incredible Inventions. It came out May 14th, 2024. Whizbang's Workshop was fun. A couple of stats for this, as well as, how many cards came out is the same amount as the other ones. This was the first mini set ever to feature a new the Gigantify keyword, which essentially took the, miniaturize keyword and flipped it around. But that was really about it. That's really all that happened. Besides that Gigantify keyword, we didn't see a lot of impact on the meta during the time that Whizbang's Workshop mini set came out. We had some memorable cards, and I just want to talk about these. Product 9 was awesome, and it is awesome in Secret Hunter, but it's not really being used except for anything other than Secret Hunter. The Toy Snatching Geist. This one had the Gigantify keyword. This one, it's seeing play only because, Death Knight can throw anything into a deck and make it pretty good. It didn't have any, insightful ways of putting it into a deck to build off of it. It was just, hey, it's there. Holy Glow Sticks is the only card from this set that I see a lot of play right now, and it's only because they're trying to get the Libram Paladin package going. So We didn't see this when it came out for anything more than a few days after the set was released, and then it disappeared, and now it's back again. But I think it's just situational, like I said, based on one archetype. And then Infernal had a day, maybe 2, maybe 3. And then it disappeared. I don't think I've seen Infernal in many Warlock decks whatsoever. And then Murloc Grofin, this one is in a couple of decks for Shaman right now, but nothing very strong, nothing significant, nothing long term. It's just there because it's just it's a strong card, but it's not something that you're building decks off of. Let's talk about Perils in Paradise, the mini set, the Traveling Travel Agency, the newest one to be released on September 10th, 2024. This one broke some things. So Portalmancer Skyla, the card came out and it broke the meta. Big Spell Mage and then Spell Mage. This deck was prevalent. It was everywhere. You know, when you're looking at mini sets, you're thinking, hey, is it a good idea to buy a mini set? And generally, I would agree. Like the past couple of years, buying a mini set for, 2 reasons. Number one, you have cards that you can use. You have legendaries that you can put in. You have a lot of potential, especially for a budget player, if you do not have all the cards in the set. And then also, if you need to, while some might say this is not a good idea, you can dust what you don't need or not going to be used or, is not playable. These last 3 sets have not been like huge, super strong. But this one right here, this card damaged things. In fact, they're still dealing with the effects of Big Spell Mage since September right now. It just had another nerf, or there was other cards that were part of the archetype that changed it, so it's not as prevalent right now. If you're playing Mage right now at this day and age, November 29th, you're probably playing Elemental Mage, so this is not super huge, but it's still seeing some significant play. And then that was about it with this. I mean, and I'm saying this is almost memorable mentions in terms of, just a couple of these cards. Carnivorous Cube, it was supposed to be amazing. When this was a knockoff of Cube, Cube Lock was a fun deck to play, and it was a broken deck to play. When this came out, I think it was Goblins versus Gnomes, but I could be wrong on that. I'm probably wrong on that. Kobolds and Catacombs? I don't know. Listen, Cube would have been amazing to bring back, and it just didn't have the support to make it long standing. It just wasn't around. Robocollar, you'll see it in a little bit of decks, nothing crazy, nothing nuts on the rogue side, but I don't think it's the absolute nuts. I don't think it's something that is super impactful. And then Travel Master Dungar, there is a druid deck that's playing some sort of Dungar druid type of thing, but I don't see it. I haven't seen it. Druid is in a weird place right now, so it's not being played, and it's just, these are just cards, and I don't think Perils in Paradise had a huge jump, but this one right here, Portalmancer Skyla, is just, it was broken. It broke so many things. People were buying the mini set just for this and nothing else. Okay, so this is how I ranked it. Number 1, Showdown in the Badlands. Number 2 was Perils in Paradise, and then Whizbang's Workshop was number 3 for the reasons I just mentioned before. So, number 1, the mini set, Showdown in the Badlands, got a lot of nerfs. The cards are still strong now. More cards out of all of these mini sets are seeing play right now, currently at the end of November, and not just in one deck. I mean, some of these are just in every Paladin deck or in every Death Knight deck. They're just all over the place. Perils in Paradise had, some short-term play in a few of them. Nothing I would specifically make decks on, but it did have some short-term play and what have you. And then, Whizbang's Workshop just really didn't have anything memorable, didn't have anything long-term. It was here, and then it wasn't here. And then it's just gone and forgotten. And you might see 1 or 2 cards as an outlier, but Showdown, in terms of all 3 of them, the most cards from that mini set are being played right now today from all of them. And, that's pretty crazy considering it came out in January. It's almost been a year. So I definitely want to know your thoughts. Let me know where I'm wrong on this. Let me know If I missed a specific card that would have changed this, would you have made this set like this? Like, how would you have ranked these? As well as, obviously, like the video, subscribe to the channel if you like what I'm doing, and I will see you in the next video.